didn't. I could never. You have to believe me. Oh, there was something. Someone. God, I should have told you the moment I knew he'd spoken to Robert. I just didn't think he'd be that vindictive. Like he'd say it to you as well, to blame me.
Well, he's blaming you because you did it.
I had my suspicions. I could have done more, but I just thought he was okay. I tried to talk to him the other week when he confronted me. Told him he wasn't remembering things right. Tried to apologise for failing him, but he just wouldn't have it. I couldn't push him any further. He was too fragile.
How do you remember it, then?
I just prayed that he'd realise and that he'd stop. That's why I suggested the break. And because it was easier than telling you.
Telling me what?
I could see that me being around was killing him, and the guilt was doing the same to me.
Gordon, easier than telling me what?
That I thought that someone might have abused our son and I did nothing about it. He used to go to this football club, after school thing. He really loved it. And then this one time he came back and it was like he was a different kid. I couldn't get a word out of him. Eventually he said he'd had a fight with another lad. After a while he seemed better. Well, no worse than normal anyway. Don't ever mention it again.
Why only mention it now?
A year or so back, it was all over the papers. Some lads had come forward and accused the coach of inappropriate behaviour. They found him guilty. Aaron wasn't around to ask. I don't know how much he knew about it. But I couldn't shake the feeling that he may have been hurt too. More than once, for all I know. When he told me he thought what I'd done, that was my confirmation. I never hated myself more. But he remembered what the coach did, not me.
You never said a word at the time.
We weren't exactly on speaking terms, were we?
So why didn't you say something when he told you?
Because I thought it'd be the end of us.
I'm sorry.
Look, we'll get him help. Some therapy. Anything. Whatever he needs.
I'm sorry that I even came here. He was a lot of things last night. But he wasn't confused. He remembers the rows. Being frightened in his room. The fish and chips you bought him out of guilt. He remembers every single time. He was little when it started, and he was too afraid to fight back. Well, guess who's not afraid to fight back now?
You think he can accuse me? You weren't even there.
He's told me everything I need to know.
Come on, you left him. You messed about with his head. That's why he's the way he is. You walked out on your own kid and you never even looked back.
No, that's not true.
You didn't even cheat. You didn't even want somebody else. You just didn't want us.
We weren't happy.
You thought being on your own was best. Do you realise how humiliating that was? How worthless that made me feel? You were the love of my life. We were a family. You left us like it was nothing. You broke my heart and you broke his.
Oh.
Do you realise he blamed me for all of it? And I had to live with that. Day in, day out.
He was a frightened kid.
Because he thought you didn't love him. And it made him nasty and violent. If it wasn't down the headmaster's office, it was down the police station. Because he thought if he wasn't bad enough, you'd have to come back and sort him out. Only you didn't.
So you had to.
You weren't there! Who else was going to keep him in line? Why are you on the bar? Where's my mum?
What? Well, in my bad boot. She left me single-handed to go shopping.